Recording in progress.
Hello, this is Greg Gallson Green Greg's coming to you on the 19th of November, 21. Time on deck is 20:50 hours Central Standard Time. Kyle Rittenhouse has been found not guilty on all counts. Yet, it looks like we may be seeing some protests, possibly riots, maybe starting tomorrow in some cities. Can we never get away from this? I mean, is that not the root of where this started from? And what happened to this idea that we can't just accept a jury anymore? A jury of 12 peers. What the jury has spoke. Why is we no longer accept it? Because some people say the system's rigged. They won't buy anything that gives them something that they don't agree with. Interesting. So well, we should talk about this. This is a difficult topic. I'll try to be short on it because I do have friends and subscribers and customers on both sides of the political spectrum. But you know, there's two wrongs make a right. Because you don't agree with something, you got to go burn down other people's places. Let's say we don't agree with this happened, this bad, so let's go burn down all these businesses, destroy all these lives over here, and that's all right. Well, they really believe that. I don't. Two wrongs don't make a right. And then again, was this wrong? I don't think so. It really looked to me like self-defense, and the jury agrees, and I agree with that too. Self-defense. I'll go into that in a minute as to why I think this was self-defense. And there's some things that maybe you don't know, and if you knew them, maybe you wouldn't be inclined to want to go out and burn down some innocent property owner's business. Or you know, there's nothing wrong with staging peaceful protest. That's given to us in the Constitution. Everybody's got the right to assemble. So if you want to go out and assemble and tell us you're not happy with something, you got the right to do that. Do you have the right to go out and destroy other people's property? No, that is a crime. And if you do that, that makes you a criminal. You have no right to go out and commit a crime. And I do not advocate crime here. I'm against crime. But I also do believe you've got the right to defend yourself and your property. To what degree? Well, that all depends. So, guys, let me tell you, we may be in for rough times here domestically. I usually talk about things going on internationally. Sometimes I talk about strife domestically, and we got to know that this strife includes a lot of things, and most of it is the fact that we're so polarized in this country, left versus right, and the polarization is getting greater and greater. And it's not just left versus right; it's more focused urban versus predominantly rural areas in this country. That's why I did a video talking about the potential of this country breaking apart, and maybe secession and breaking apart into East Wokistan and West Wokistan with all Indian territory in the middle, kind of like India when it's separated to East Pakistan, West Pakistan, and India. All right. Yeah, this isn't such a funny thing though. Considering that, maybe justice was done, but some people aren't happy and they will go out and do injustice in the name of what they perceive to be justice. Well, guys, here's what you need to know. On whatever side of the spectrum you're on, you need to know this. We face unrest in this country. It may be interesting. This summer was not a summer of riots, but then again, the side that tends to do that the most seemed to have got what they wanted in terms of the election. At least those that burned down cities. So, will we see that again? What's going to happen when the midterms come? What's going to happen, when the next presidential election occurs? Is this just a new thing in this country? Is it going to get worse? How far does it go? Good questions, really good questions. So, but you know what you need to know? You need to get ready. You need to prepare. I've got a lot of videos now. You need to have food. You need to have the ability to purify and sanitize. Two separate things, Mr. Dave Hodges. I always pick on him because he got confused about that once. You need to have both capabilities. I've done a video on that too. And I've done videos on eating wild, the weeds and the trees. But sometimes that's not too convenient. And you're going to be hard pressed to find the proteins and the carbs you're going to need. You're going to need a lot of carbs when you're working out hard, trying to scratch for a living in those days and times. So I highly suggest you go to prepwithgreg.com and check out the deal. $100 off, 3 months supply, 6 of these buckets. It's great to beat. I mean, it's hard to beat that deal. You get 6 of these buckets, which have 2,000 calories per day. Each one of these is 2 weeks worth of food, 2,000 calories a day. It's an awesome deal, guys. It's an awesome deal. Go to prepwithgreg.com and check that out because Food prices are going up and availabilities are going down, and scarcity is going to be going all around. Yeah, I'm going to have to talk more about the food situation very soon because it may get bleaker than you think very soon. All right, now make sure you subscribe to my channel, bang the notification bell, and click off. This video may make some of you want to unsubscribe. I hope not. I try to bring a lot of good information for everyone here. But well, let me just ask a question. If you are intending to go out and riot, would you do this if you knew the following? Did you know that Kyle actually put out a dumpster fire? Apparently, this was a dumpster that was set fire and being rolled toward a gas station with the intention of blowing up the gas station with people all around it. Did he save lives? Maybe he should be a hero. Do you get this on the mainstream media? Crickets. Of course, maybe you didn't know, or did you, that the police were ordered to stand down, and supposedly nothing was supposed to happen in that community because the police were ordered to stand down, back off, because they were the ones who had been perceived as doing injustice. So because of that, the community itself gets trashed. So can you blame people for wanting to protect their community? Is that so bad? And it's the narrative from the media is that Kyle came in from outside town and he got there and did whatever. I'm gonna say this though. He was a boy. I got to agree with Black Scout Survival, excuse me. Shout out to Black Scout Survival. Check his channel out. And tell them that Greg Allison from Green Greg sent you. Yeah, go to Black Scout. Tell them Greg Allison from Green Greg sent you. I agree with him that, Kyle was a young boy, really. And as a boy, he had no business being there. This is something that, men take care of, taking care of the community if they need to. You shouldn't put boys in that predicament. Boys, don't, no one that young has their frontal lobes fully formed. And, they just don't have all the mental faculties that an older person has, which includes usually reserve. And they're going to be a little more reactionary and very emotional. Boys are got, testosterone and are emotional. And so are girls. So that's other things to be factored in. But what you might not have got from all the narrative that he came in from outside of town, blah, 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 was that his dad, grandma, and friends lived in this community. Yeah. It was just 20 minutes away from his dad's place when all this was going on. So it was his community. His dad lived here, and he might have spent, a good bit of his time elsewhere, but he had friends, a grandma and a dad right there. So this was his community to him. Did you know that Joseph Rosenbaum was a convicted sex felon? He'd spent like 10 years in prison before all this stuff happened. And on top of that, it's alleged that Joe Rosenbaum threatened Kyle's life, that he kicked him and was trying to kick him with lethal force. And allegedly he knocked him down twice. One of the pictures I've seen is Kyle's laying on the floor when the guys on the street when the guys got that gun. So what is this, guys? I mean, he was knocked down. That Rosenbaum was actually chasing him, and Kyle, originally ran away. Maybe he was getting out of air. Maybe he figured he was, why did he defend himself at that point? Well, if somebody's coming after you and you're a kid and they're an adult, 35-year-old in his prime, and a guy had been spent time in prison, he was no small shrimp, guys. This was no small shrimp, Rosenbaum going after Kyle. And Kyle, that'd be scared out of his wits. And again, what did I say? He's a kid. Kid shouldn't be in that situation in the first place. But then when you get to Huber ran at him. Here's a guy with a bang bang, and somebody's running at you. Anytime somebody runs at you and you're armed, that means that you got the intent to attack clearly there. And this guy hit him in the head or the neck with a skateboard. And it looks like he hit him twice or hit him once and tried to hit him at him another time. I think there's some contention about that. But the video last picture I saw looked like he got hit in the head. with a skateboard. Let me tell you something. That can be fatal in itself. To be hit in the head by a piece of big board, a piece of wood, or anything can cause a lot of damage. It's moment arm. You could really severely hurt or kill somebody that way. It is not to be taken lightly. And allegedly, he was reaching for his bang bang, his nug, as I call him on this channel. And I went outside of that a little bit a moment ago, but so think about that. When somebody's reaching for your piece, then maybe they plan to turn it on you. What, they got their own piece? I mean, you don't know what's going on. Somebody running at you now, he's just been threatened, and then the guy that's coming at him hits him in the head. Well, it turns out, yeah, well, so Kyle defended himself. Again, you may or may not see it that way, but the jury did. The jury did. And then there's Gage Kraus, I can't pronounce that. He was a felon. He was a felon in possession of a firearm. So I was a felon, but he was a medic, but he was also a felon in possession of a firearm. And it just so happened that he followed these events. Oh yeah, if you go to the Common News Network, they tell you that all these guys just happen to be there. They just happen to be there, but yet they chase after Kyle. No, they're not part of the protest, the riot, but they chase after him. Oh yeah, it's just this, it's just that, yeah, right. It don't add up to me. Their logic, their excuses, really makes you wonder. So so he has a firearm, and according to his own admission, he points it at him. Now Kyle shoots him in the arm. Just like a good cowboy in the old days in the Old West. You don't take the guy out when you can take out his arm and stop him from using his bang bang. So that was clearly defense of self without lethal force. Okay. And apparently it stopped that attack. Now, yeah, there's a lot of controversy about each of these three cases. Hey, the jury found him not guilty. That's the bottom line. And some people want to indict the jury now, indict the whole court system, indict the whole legal system. Having a jury process is one of the best things about our court system. You want to throw that out? You're going to put over a dictator? Find a better system, guys. You may think this is better, that's better, but generally it's not. You kangaroo courts. You get the dictates of whoever's in charge politically. You don't want that. A trial by jury is always a good thing. So you need some level of respect. So some people said, well, he was, he had an illegal firearm. Well, that got busted because it is legal for somebody that age to carry a firearm in Wisconsin. And by the way, where I grew up, we got firearms as kids. Everybody did. Nobody went around banging each other. No, not with those. Might have done it with these all the time, but not that kind of stuff. It's a different world. But we're in a lot of tension these days. So, oh yeah, and then some people complaining about taking across state lines. It wasn't taken across straight lines. It was given to him by somebody that already got it there. Okay. So, but that stuff was brought up and dismissed. But these are just some of the things that the media was trying to paint. The media tried to smear all kind of mud and blood and everything everywhere. So, and they also said he could have just stayed home. But again, and what's his dad's home? His grandma, friends. Okay, well, maybe that's fairly good logic. But why was it okay for the protesters not to stay home? This guy, you get on him, but the protesters were out clearly beating people and burning places down. Oh yeah, they beat some people. But those people didn't have a nugget in hand. So, yeah, there were people. There was an old guy trying to defend one of his businesses and got bashed in the head with a fire extinguisher. Lovely, right? So, it don't make a lot of sense, guys. It don't make a lot of sense. So, when your town's being burnt down, you're going to be emotional about it. Some people want to do something. And like I said, he apparently put out a dumpster fire that could have caused a lot of mayhem and hurt a lot of people. So even though he might have offed 2 and crippled 1, he might have saved more. Just saying, you don't know. But just as evidence for this whole thing of potential protest, I'm going to show y'all what is out here. I'm going to do a share screen. Share screen here, guys. Look at this. This is right off Facebook. Expand this. Think. This is a post somebody sent. Chicago Alliance. So apparently in Chicago, they're planning to have protests. Now, I hope it's a peaceful protest. And they got the right to that, by the way. But, you know, some of the things they're saying here. A guy trying to protect his community is automatically dubbed a racist, even though he took out a white guy too. So I don't know. This is, yeah, I think it's a little overboard. What do you think? Regardless of the outcome, we're hitting the streets to protest this racial injustice system, regardless of the outcome. Well, now the outcome is the way it is. Will it be worse? Will this happen across the United States? I hope it calms down. That's what I hope. Stop share. What is it? 2 wrongs don't make a right. Right, not make a riot. 2 wrongs make a riot. Absolutely, but 2 wrongs don't make a right. Yeah, maybe a T-shirt in that somewhere. I got to work on that. You can't fix injustice with more injustice. You create a feud. And this country's in a feud already, and it's getting worse. The feud is getting worse. Now, I believe in a right of self-defense. So many people, they won't allow it. They won't believe in it. They'll fight it every way they can. And they don't even want us to have the means to have self-defense. Oh, yeah. They say Sniffy Joe is planning to sign that UN small arms agreement. There is something to take issue with. Big time. All right. Enough said about these things. I believe in the right to have the ability to defend oneself and the right to defend oneself. I do not believe in aggression, naked aggression. I don't believe in attacking property. I believe there's better ways of recourse to deal with things. If you think there's an injustice in the system, you can get involved in the politics. There's things you can do besides burning things down. All you do when you do that is create hatred and resentment from the other side, and you divide the country up. There's no way to do it. Of course, if you're listening, you're on the left, you're not listening, you're just getting mad at me probably. It's probably fuming. Okay. Well, don't say I didn't. Bring it up. Something I've talked about often in this channel is trying to understand people on the other side. And this goes for both sides of this. Try to understand where they're coming from. Put on their rose-colored glasses. By that, I mean their way of seeing the world, the tint through which they see the world, the worldview they carry. And then see if you can find a way to reach out to them. Now, maybe I failed in this video because, you know, this is a very fever pitch thing and people are already pretty much where they're going to be. And they've already decided, well, this is right and that's wrong no matter what. And if you don't agree with this absolutely 100%, then you're wrong. So that's part of the whole problem, right? It's part of the whole problem. But I believe in freedom. I believe in all freedoms. I'm a big fan of freedom. So I started the Freedom Restoration Foundation. That's my constitution. Waving around here just a couple nights ago. Stuck it somewhere else, I guess. I believe in freedom. Freedom is not colorblind, but freedom is colorblind. Freedom doesn't care about color, not real freedom. All men are created equal. All. Now, that was a very radical thing to say when it was written, given the ways people lived and thought back in those days, but it has evolved. But we're still having issues with it. We're still having issues with it. And some people think on the other side, well, then we just need to get rid of all the freedoms. Well, you don't know what you're asking for. You have no clue where that goes. It's very, very ugly. Freedom afforded you the right to protest. Freedom afforded you the right to address your grievances legally. freedom provides you a lot of things. You take that away, you're going to find yourself more likely in a gulag than not. It don't always turn out as pretty as you might think in your idealistic little mind, because the world is not idealistic. It's a rough and tumble world out there. We have to find ways to make it work and to get along as best we can. And it's always going to evolve and change. It's just the way people are. Enough said. But then I'm going to say, let's just try to maintain the calm if we can. But hey, if you got to defend yourself, do what you got to do, but do it legally. Don't, run around and pointing things up. Oh yeah, said the guy pointed his bang bang, but he admitted, but oh, I didn't mean to. It was inadvertent. Interesting. Well, I've seen various pieces of that story. It seems to tell different things in different ways. So I don't know, guys. I don't know. I believe in freedom for all. All men are created equal. Includes women. But guys, hopefully we'll find a way through this to get along. But I don't see it coming. I see the division hyping up, and we may be heading in for a civil war. I hope not, because that would be the ugliest thing you could possibly imagine. It would be very ugly. Some people think it'd be glorious on each side. Oh yeah, glorious, glorious. That's what everybody thinks before such mayhem occurs. It would not be. All right, enough said. That's all I'm going to say. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, bang the update notification bell, and click all. And have a good night.